Okay, guys, we are doing a packet tracer lab here. Whoops. And to access this lab, you need to go to your Cybersecurity Essentials material on the netcad.com website. Going into chapter 1. And now, if you have your chapter 1 material in front of you, you can go down here to the bottom where it says course index and the packet tracer index. And we're going to the second packet tracer lab in chapter 1. So packet tracer communicating in a cyber world. So go ahead and click on that. And there are going to be two separate things that you need to download. You need to download this PDF file. This PDF file, you will need to fill it out with the answers to the questions, and you need to save it and upload it to the lab module to get credit. To get full credit, you will need to make sure you have this PDF filled out and saved and uploaded. I'm not going to walk through the PDF part in this lab. It's all right there. Make sure you get that part done. The second thing you need to make sure you download is the PKA file. Just click on that and download it. Once you have that downloaded, you can go to where you navigate to where you save your downloads at. Click on the PKA file. Now, you should, at this point, have Packet Tracer installed on your computer. If it's installed correctly, you don't need to open Packet Tracer. You can just click on the PKA file, and it will open Packet Tracer and import all of this stuff from the file, all the material for your labs. Don't go and click on this file a whole bunch of times if you don't see anything happen, because it takes Packet Tracer a little bit to open up. And if you do click on it a bunch of times, you will have a bunch of labs open. It'll be very confusing as to where where you're trying to work at. So just clicked on it one time. And if the application doesn't sense that you're logged into a Network Academy, a lot of times instead of coming to this window, you'll get a window on top of this that says you need to log in. If you're seeing that right now, go ahead and click on where it says Cisco Network Academy. Click on that, put in your login credentials, and it'll bring you right back to here, what I'm looking at. So once we get here, the user profile, do not turn in a assignment with the name guest on it. I won't know who you are. I won't know how to give you credit. So if you want to get credit for this assignment, you got to put your name on it. Please, if you would, go ahead and put in your email address too, just so I have two ways to verify who did the assignment. I'm going to go ahead and click OK on that. Now, what you're looking at right behind that user profile screen is the directions. This is the exact same thing that's on that PDF file that I just walked you through downloading. You want to make sure and hit this dock button. That's going to put your direction, the lab instructions. It's going to put it into the application in the window, so you don't keep losing it and have to go and find it on your computer. I highly recommend that you hit that dock button and keep the instructions over there. So what we're doing in this lab. In this activity, you will communicate across remote networks using common network services. The IP addressing, network configuration, and service configurations are already complete. You will use the client devices in the different geographic regions to connect to both servers and other client devices. Now, it says in here the IP addressing, network configuration, and server configurations are already complete. However, I have run through this lab a couple times and they are not complete. So there are a few steps that you'll probably need to do that are outside of this. That is one of the reasons I'm making this video, to help people out. Also, just to help out with the overall lab here. So jumping right into it, part 1, send email between users. Access the email client on Mike's computer. So Mike is going to be at the Gotham Health Club branch. That's right over here. And again, you can't just click on the picture like it looks like you can. You have to click on that little cloud that'll get us in there. Scroll over a little bit. Don't care about seeing the parking lot completely, so let's go up. This is our Gotham Healthcare branch. Looks like a small little building, modem room, wireless router room, got a server closet, got Mike and Tim's office. So we are going to go to Mike's computer. You're going to click this little top button so we don't lose Mike's computer module up here. Going to go to desktop. And this is the part that we want to do that's a little bit outside of the lab. Instead of going straight to his email client, we want to go to the command prompt here and type in ipconfig. And this is the problem here. It says that they all of the configurations are supposed to be set up, but as you can see right here, they are not. Mike does not have an IP address. Got all zeros there, and all zeros is not an IP address. So in order to fix this, we go into Mike's computer, you go to desktop, you go to the command prompt, and just type in a simple command, ipconfig, that's ipconfig. We put in a slash, put in the word renew, renew, and hit enter, and give it a second. And as we can see now, Mike now has an IP address of 10.44.2.102. So that's the extra step that's not in the things there. That's one of the main reasons I decided to make this video, to help you guys out. I'm also just making it so you guys can get through the labs. So we're going to exit out of the command prompt, and we're going to go back to the web browser now. Now we are back on track. So maybe back on track with the directions here. Oh, we're not going to the web browser. We're going to the email client. Okay, well, we've got to wait for a packet tracer to figure itself out and start responding again. Okay. Going to the email client. And what we're going to do is we're going to compose an email to send to Sally. So in the to field, we're going to put Sally at cisco.corp. In the subject, we're going to put urgent. Call me. And we're going to put call me when you are free to discuss the new sale. I'm not sure how picky packet tracer is going to be with the directions and stuff. I feel like you could probably type whatever you want in here, but I'm going to go ahead and follow the directions because I don't want to come back and have to redo it at the end. So we hit our send button, and it's giving us some information down here to see what it's doing. It's trying to resolve the domain name email.cisco.corp by querying the DNS server. While I'm waiting on that to see if it crashes or does it, over here you notice there's a question. It says, what protocol was used to send the email to the email server? Send success. Okay, cool. So things are working. Answer to that question, if you did the lab before this one, the answer to that question is actually part of that lab. So I'm not going to tell you the answer to that. You can know it on your own or look it up on your own. Not going to hold your hand, do every little thing in this lab. I'll let you guys do some of it. And like I said, if you did the last lab, you already know the answers to those. Part 3 here, have Sally check her email. So we need to go back out of the healthcare branch, and we're going to go back over to Metropolis headquarters. We're going to go on Sally's computer, going to go to her desktop, and again, we're going to break away from this, the directions, step-by-step directions. Step 3 here in part 1 has us go to Sally's computer, go to her desktop, go to her email client. Instead of doing the email client, let's go to the command prompt again real quick, and let's just check ipconfig, see if Sally has an IP address. She does not have an IP address, just like Mike did not have an IP address. So again, it's the exact same fix. ipconfig /renew, that's ipconfig space /renew, and hit the enter button, give it a second. See, now she's got an IP address of 10.44.1.8. So that quick little fix there. I apologize if you guys are out or trying to do this lab and you were having issues with Sally and Mike and computers and things, but that they got to have IP addresses for things to work. So we got her an IP address. Moving back over, back to the actual steps. So where were we here? So we're at Sally's computer. We're on our desktop. We need to go to her email, and we hit the receive button. And we hit the receive button. There we go. And it says received mail success. So we can now see on here, call me if you are free to discuss the new sale right there. So that's working. And if you notice again here in step 3, part 1 and step 3, there is a question: what protocol was used to receive the email from the email server? And again, that question, you would have gained that knowledge from the prior lab. So I'm not going to go over that question. I'll let you answer it. And again, or not again, but as I say, you can answer these questions as detailed as you want to be. Feel free to get as detailed as you like to get. You can also be as simple as you want to be. Just make sure that you're answering these questions in a way that displays that you do understand the knowledge. Okay. So we're going to get out of Sally's computer now. We're going to go to part 2, uploading files using the FTP server. So we're going to set up a packet sniffer. So we're actually going to do a little bit of red teaming here. We're going to do a little bit of pretending to be the bad guy. And we're going to go to our bad guy's computer here, the cyber criminal sniffer. Open that up, click our little top button here so we keep that open. And directions are not real clear here, so I'm glad I'm making a video because it says click the cyber criminals sniffer, which is pretty obvious how to do there. And then it says click port 1, but it doesn't tell you where to go to get port 1. So to get to port 1, you want to go to the graphic user interface. We check, we see that the service is on, but it's on port 0, so we need to switch over to port 1. We can see that it's already, looks like his sniffer has already picked up some TCP traffic, and that email that I sent is showing up here too. Okay, that's cool. So we got the packet or the criminal sniffer turned on the right port. We're going to move it over here out of the way. Here we go. And on to part 2, remotely connect to the FTP server. So we want to go to the healthcare at home. Healthcare at home here with Mary. So we're navigating through the global overview to the healthcare at home, and then going to go to Mary's computer. And if I remember correctly from the prior times that I went through this lab testing it for you guys, I think she's got an IP address. So this is not part of the directions. It's just me checking to make sure. Yeah, see there, she's you don't need to worry about the IP config thing with Mary. She's got an IP address. So, oh, we're still going to the command prompt though. So we're in Mary's computer. We chose her command prompt, and we are going to connect to the FTP server by typing FTP 209.165.201.3. Double check to make sure I got that right. 209.165.201.3. So what we're doing here in the command, we're typing in FTP to let it know that we're using the FTP protocol, and then we're telling it what address the FTP server is at that we're trying to connect to. When you hit the enter button, it's going to send a initial connection request to the FTP server, and it looks like it's working. The FTP server is going to say, "Hi there, I'm here. What's your name?" And for this, we are acting as Mary. So we're going to say Mary, all lowercase letters, hit enter. It's going to say, okay, we need your password. And the password is Cisco123. Boy, this place is unsecure. Same password. And it says you're logged in. Great. Awesome. So FTP is a file transfer protocol, and FTP server is going to be a server that just holds files for you to move around and do whatever you want to do with. FTP is not secure. It doesn't encrypt your traffic. coming back and forth from it. So our step 3 is actually uploading a file to the FTP server. So now that we're logged in, we've got our FTP prompt here. We are going to hit dir, which shows us what's in the directory that we're currently in. So it shows that we're in the directory /FTP, and these are all the files that are in that directory. We want to upload a file to this directory, and the FTP command for that is put. So we're going to say put new clients.txt. So we're uploading a text file called new clients. Make sure I typed it correctly. Then we hit the enter button. It's going to transfer that file, and it's done. So now if we hit dir again to look at the what's in the directory, we should be able to see that new clients.txt has been uploaded. There it is. So why is FTP considered an insecure protocol for moving files? Again, with these questions, you can get as simple as you want or as detailed as you want. I just mentioned the answer to that question a second ago. The FTP protocol doesn't use encryption. It's sending things across the network in open, unencrypted text back and forth. And we'll be able to see that in a second. So we're going to analyze the FTP traffic. So if we go back to our criminals sniffer, make it a little bit bigger so we can see what's going on here. And we go into the GUI tab. It's turned on with a port 1. And if we go to the very first FTP packet that was sent across the network and picked up by our sniffer, you can see at the bottom here that it says the header says user, and the body there, I'm thinking that's the header and the user. Basically, it tells you user Mary. So it told you the username. If we go to the second FTP packet that came across the network, right here, and we do the same thing, we go down to the bottom of the actual FTP command that was sent was pass, and looky there, there's Mary's password right there for the criminal to see. If we go to the third one here, just more information here. I think I typed in a dir command or something. So besides the username, what other sensitive information is displayed in clear text from the HTTP? So I showed you there was a username, and I showed you there was a password. So it's not just username, it's a password. It's everything that you type and send there can be obtained. Moving on here, part 3, remotely accessing an enterprise router using Telnet. So let's keep this criminal sniffer page open, because I'm pretty positive we're gonna want to come back to it. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm using a computer without a mouse to record this video here. So let's get out of Mary's computer. We're gonna go to the healthcare at home. I already have that open in front of us here. We're gonna go to Dave's computer. Okay. Do this. Click this top button so we don't lose Dave's computer. And gonna go to the desktop. Gonna go to the command prompt, and I'm just gonna get in the habit of doing this here with these things. Let's check out the IP config. Dave has an IP address. We're cool. Following along with the lab exercise, we are going to send a ping to 209.165.201.2, which I think we might have supposed to have done that before in another. Maybe not. Whatever, we're good. So when you send a ping packet, it's by default on Windows machine. By default, it's going to send 4 packets. We've sent all 4 packets and got a response from all 4. So we got 0 packet loss. We're able to ping that IP address, looking good. And we are going to SSH into the enterprise router here now. So to do that, you have to type SSH because that's the command, that's the protocol that we're using. I'm going to put a hyphen lowercase l space. The username in this case is admin, and then that IP address again. Give it a quick look over here to make sure I'm entering correctly. SSH TAC1 admin 209.165.201-2. Hit the enter button. It's going to reach out to that server and say, hey, I'm trying to connect to you with SSH. That server is going to say, okay, I'm here. You already put in your username into the command line. That's how the SSH protocol works. And it's going to say, okay, what's your password? And we all know the password by now. Cisco12. Enter. As you could tell, as I typed, it did not actually show any characters. A lot of times whenever you're running passwords, it won't show any characters. That's just kind of how it works. It's a security thing. So looky there, we're in there. So we are in the HQ router. What do we want to do here? So we're going to run a show users command. Show users. Hit enter. That's going to show us the users on the HQ router. And we are the only user, and we are admin. There we are. So we are going to configure this server. We're going to stick a secret on it. So we're going to hit configure terminal, hit enter. And okay, so now we're in the HQ router configuration terminal, and we're going to type in enable secret. Secret is going to be Cisco. We hit enter. And that's the end of the lab. So let's hit this check results button here just to see, make sure we got everything done correctly. Okay, so I have done everything. Congratulations, I got everything done. Go ahead and close this. You hit the, if you don't get congratulations, or even if you do get congratulations, if you want to see all the different steps and things that you did, you can hit this assess items. And you want to see these green checks. If you see a red check, then you know that's what you need to go back to. Do you need to go back to the HQ router, make sure it was set up correctly? Do you need to go back to the FTP one? In our case, on this lab, we don't need to go back to anything because we got all greens. Just to go a little bit further with the lab here, let's take a look at what our sniffer got here at the end. So, oh, we did SSH, that's right. Okay, I'm not going to dig in deep into looking at SSH packets. It's not what this lab is about, and I don't want to extend it and take any more of your guys' time. I've shown you everything that you need to do to get through the lab. So we won't go into that on this video. We will go into this real quick though. So once you have everything done, you're getting this congratulations. Um, Even if you don't get everything done, you still need to do this next step to get any points whatsoever. So you either can click save. I recommend you clicking save as and adding your name to the end of the file here. I'll explain why I did that in just a second. As soon as it saves. So now it's saved, and we can navigate to where you save your things at. And the reason I click the Save As button and put my name on there is so I can differentiate from the files. So this was the one I originally downloaded. This one at the current moment, because I didn't save it, doesn't have anything but the lab. Doesn't have any of the work that you just watched me do. I hit the Save As button and put my name on there because now I know this file is a new file. It has all of the lab work in it. This is the file that you are going to need, or however you saved it. You need to save your work and upload that to the labs module in order to get full credit. You'll need this one with all of the steps done, and you'll need the PDF with all of the questions answered on it. So make sure you upload the PKA file and the PDF file to the labs module and get your credit for this lab. And that's everything. I'll see you in class.